thrilled to be here at the Web Summit to share strategies on how you can make money faster in the cloud. Today I'm going to talk about, first, defining the global cloud economy and talking about what that means for you and how you can make money in your business. Second, I'm going to define distribution strategies that can help you monetize in this world of the cloud. And then third, I'm going to share case studies and some insights of what we've seen in how people are driving value in this new cloud world. So first of all, what we saw when we started the company in the summer of 2009 was an emergence of this global cloud economy that can enable businesses to be more productive and collaborative by getting simple access to the services that they need in a subscription-based model. But one of the key requirements of the global cloud economy is the way developers and ISVs do business in the cloud is totally going to shift. New business models need to be created, new partnership models need to be created, and new distribution strategies need to evolve. So I want to talk to you about how that evolution has played out over the last 5 years and what that means to you and your businesses and how we grow moving forward. So one thing that we've seen is cloud spend has increased dramatically. Of the overall IT market, we've seen about a 10x increase in cloud, going from $9 billion to over $100 billion market. Now, that's a lot of opportunity for everyone in this room developing cloud services, and that's still expected to be one of the fastest growing segments of technology, if not of any growing segment in the world. So huge opportunity available for everyone here in making money in the cloud. Now, what are the driving forces of that? First of all, we've seen a huge increase in the number of cloud applications available. So developers, like many of you in this room, have gone on to serve many different verticals, geographies, and segments. In 2009, we found about 100 applications that were relevant to be distributed to businesses that ranged from Box to Google Apps to DocuSign. Now, those names have become very household names, many of them valued at above $1 billion. And what we're seeing is every year since then, there's been thousands, if not 10,000s, more cloud applications that have emerged that can solve business pain points. And as a developer in the room, there's huge opportunity for you to continue to build and evolve around different capabilities. So from that proliferation of tons of apps, that drove huge growth in the global cloud economy, one of the fastest growing segments of the cloud. And what we've found is that most businesses around the world want to buy cloud services from a local trusted provider in a bundled way. So even though businesses are using 7, 10, 20 apps in the future, they really want one place to go to get everything together. So how can we solve that problem as a community and startup community in the room? And that's where the channel comes in. So the channel is ways of building partnerships in the cloud to enable you to make more money and find more strategies through partnering. So when we started the company in 2009, there was about 0% of cloud revenue going through the channel. The channel could be your traditional IT person. It could be a VAR, value-added reseller. It could be going into a retail shop and buying services off the shelf. It could be you getting it bundled with a service provider. But essentially, that channel didn't exist for cloud in 2009. Fast forward a few years, we're now seeing that out of all these SaaS apps around, about 25% of them are embracing the channel, but there's further opportunity for about 75% of cloud services to be using the channel. And those are all ways of accelerating your growth to making money. So let's look at that evolution. So in 2009, when companies like Box and others emerged, their primary way to make money was online. So you'd create a website, you'd have customers come online, maybe have a cool SEO strategy, and you'd make a little bit of money. That's like companies like MailChimp still use that strategy today. So really online only, easy to sell, a clear value proposition, strong demand gen. Then from there, a lot of companies then have gone on to hire sales reps. So you might have an inbound call center of reps that can essentially deploy services. Box was a company that was really known for this, where they have a high cost of acquisition, but they can really leverage their sales reps to cover territories globally. Then after that, what we've seen is companies like Xero build referral programs. So Xero is an accounting tool, and what they did is partnered with accountants and bookkeepers around the world to recommend their service. And that enabled them to expand globally, where that represents about 70% of their go-to-market channel. Companies like Zendesk leverage reseller programs. So they have a program essentially where they have resellers that sign up directly to them, and those are local trusted providers that can enable Zendesk to be sold within that region. The next is enabling channel distribution. So that's partnering with big distributors around the world. That could be a telecom like AT&T or Comcast, or it could be a company like IBM or Pivotal, like we just heard from Rob, to enable the distribution through their channel. Microsoft is an app that's done this incredibly well. And many of you might remember when Google Apps came out, they had a huge head start on the cloud from a cloud-based application suite perspective. But Microsoft has been able to really accelerate their growth because of leveraging their incumbent channel. And finally, two-tier distribution, which is a model where you can essentially take any type of app and work with a partner to have it distributed around the world without needing to sign one-off agreements. So this is a very scalable way to make money in the cloud. So this evolution represents an opportunity for you to think about ways and priorities and how to make money in the cloud. So I'm going to take you through a case study and how this impacts you as a business. And what this will do is give you insights to A, how you can make money faster, but B, how you can be on track to be a billion-dollar company in the cloud. So many of you may have seen the HBO show Silicon Valley, and this is Richard, and he's going to take us through a journey on how to make money in the cloud. So you often, as a startup, come up with an idea. And in that idea phase, it's all about finding product market fit. And at that point in time, you really are doing things on your own, so you're hacking services, you don't hire salespeople, you just kind of figure it out. Then from there, you might have a freemium model, so people can easily get started, and you can start to show user traction. And your go-to-market strategy is kind of like what I showed MailChimp doing in the early days, which is an online-only strategy where people come to your website and start generating cash. And the goal in that phase is just to work really fast, prove quick product market fit, leverage lean startup methodology, and iterate fast. And with that, if you're successful, you can show great metrics with a very low customer cost of acquisition, and you can increase your revenue threefold from pretty much zero to a significant number in a very short period of time. And if you do that right, you end up with a small team, and if you're successful at that phase, like Richard, you might be able to go and present at TechCrunch and win the award. But then what? So the next phase, you need to figure out, okay, now that I have my, let's say, Series A or seed funding, now that I have an initial team, how do I grow even further, and how do I make money to the next step? So that's where you think about hiring a sales team. So then you go out and you have to figure out, who am I going to bring in to be my VP of sales? What's going to happen? I have to establish new plans. I need to put together a quota system, come up with SKUs. The primary distribution kind of angle at that point becomes a direct sales force. And it takes a while to kind of prove the value and the metrics from that sales force. But what happens in the end is you can, again, double or triple your revenue. But then the issue is your cost of acquisition starts to go up. Right? So how can you think about continuing to grow at 100% or more north of that to go on to be a growth company, while at the same time managing cost of acquisition? And a lot of people at that phase then have to try to figure out, okay, what are the next stages of distribution? So as I highlighted earlier, you go from a freemium model like MailChimp to a sales model like Box, but then how do you figure out the next phases where you can manage and balance your cost of acquisition for continuing growth and revenue? So that's kind of Richard's kind of main problem right now. So this is really kind of the key. This is the stage where you can that can help you cross the chasm. And that's when you go from figuring out just how to kind of go from an online model to a sales model, but then to actually get distribution strategies that work. So this is when you start to think about, okay, hiring a business development team. You need to establish new SKUs and enable your partners to actually sell and be incentivized to sell this. That could be by giving them a cut of the revenue or by modeling out different incentive. Your primary go-to-market model will actually be indirect distribution, and that way you need to kind of build up a huge alliance arm and partner marketing arm to equip them to succeed. A big focus at that time in your company is quality, scalability, and kind of proving that efficiency. Now the result of that is you can continue to boost revenue, but manage your cost of acquisition. So you can go on to raise a growth round and be on track to continue to scale your business. And what we found in that scale stage is the key focus point for your business needs to be, how do you access other people around the world beyond an early adopter segment? So in the freemium model or in the sales model, it's easy to kind of get to, let's say, 1 million users, but then we see a huge plateau where most SaaS companies can't scale above 1 million users without going international, without going to small towns and small areas around Europe, around Asia, around the US. So the key is to really think about how you can leverage these distribution models and these local trusted providers in order to drive scale and to accelerate your path past that first million users. So one of our investors, Peter Thiel, who was the first investor in Facebook and also the co-CEO or one of the first CEOs of PayPal, he really highlighted if you can get just one of these distribution models right in a channel, you have an amazing business. But what we've seen is it's very tough for people to get these distribution models right unless they kind of go all in and really focus. We've seen thousands of companies try to embrace the cloud and try to embrace the channel model in the cloud, but it takes a lot of experimentation, and there's no silver bullet. So trying just one of these strategies and putting in a little bit of effort into it is not enough. You really need to put the time into making it work and invest in these strategies so you can drive huge outcomes in the cloud. So really, when you think about your challenge ahead of being able to scale your company, being able to think about how you can grow internationally, I encourage you to really think about how do you take models from freemium and sales and really cross the chasm and embrace distribution models in the cloud. If you do that, you can successfully evolve from a direct business to referral, reseller, and marketplaces, and that puts you on path to join the 3 Comma Club and be a billion-dollar company. So with that, hopefully you can take away some of those insights, and hopefully that will enable you to succeed in accelerating your path to monetization in the cloud. Thank you so much.